So Kevin, we've come to Waterford here today to see a slurry tower that you've been involved with the building of it.
Yeah.
So what are we looking at here today? What size tank are we looking at?
So here today we have a 9820, so it's 98 foot across and 20 foot tall, 950,000 gallons. And the farmer went for the tension roof before he actually put anything in the tank.
Okay. So in terms of fittings here, what are we looking at here? I know it's not fully completed, but what are we looking at here at the minute?
Yeah, so here on the left we have the 12-inch valves. So what these do is, if the farmer's going to draw and slurry himself, he just lets it back into his tank here beside the shed and he can draw away. And then on the right then you have your umbilical draw off. Whenever he gets the contractor in, then he can draw straight off that.
Okay. So just on that one then, as we see inside, the spout is facing down. It's not actually hitting the ground.
The spout's not facing the ground. Well, it's down about 4 inches off the ground, and that just allows if any debris comes in or anything like that, or it won't get stuck in it.
Okay. And this pipe here then, I suppose instead of having his reception tank, which a lot of tanks would have, he's using the tank in the collecting yard?
He's using the tank in the collecting yard, yeah.
Okay.
Right. That's actually a better system because he has more, if he's in the tractor, filling, he can open these valves for maybe 10 or 15 minutes with the size of the tank that he has here.
Okay.
With the smaller tanks, the 8,000 gallon tank, if these tanks were full, it would fill it very, very quickly.
Okay. So in terms of how the farmer's going to fill this tank here then, what's the plan?
Yeah, so here today now he has his contractors in and we're going to put in a 6-inch welded pipe and there'll be a steel fitting over there, so his pump will just go straight onto it and it'll be all blown underground and up over the top of the tank.
Okay. And there's 2 holes already in
there's 2 holes. We put 2 holes in the cover there, yeah. And he's having a second, a 6-inch pump from here just to pump any parlour washings.
Okay. So in terms of the construction of this, maybe could you give a bit of description of, what was involved with the building of this and timelines and?
Yeah, well, the building of this now, let's say we did a site visit with the farmer and we marked it out, to see where the best place was to go. Now, he didn't want to go too far into the field with it. So his local contractor got the ground level, can harden down.
Yeah.
And then he dug the beam then, so we came down and poured it then, put mesh in it and poured it. And then whenever we had the first ring up, we poured the floor inside then, which makes a seal on it then.
Okay, what depth of concrete is inside?
The depth of concrete is about 7 to 8 inches.
Okay, with mesh across the whole lot?
With mesh on chairs throughout the whole lot, yeah.
Why is that needed?
Well, it's just needed just to strengthen it up,
right.
Just in case there was a weak spot in the ground somewhere, or it's much easier to put it in whenever the concrete's soft.
Okay, so Mulcahy Steel were involved in this project on the civil side of things?
Yeah, they did all the groundworks.
Okay, so you're near the completion of it here now, so I think there's a panel still off, so we might have a look at the internals of it.
Here for you to look in, yeah.
So Kevin, in terms of access, why is this ladder here and the arrangement to the side typically, how is that used?
Well, it's kind of up to the farmer, that can be fitted anywhere, but we'd have to know them whenever we're fitting the roof, because we have there's a trapdoor welded into the cover. And that's always your starting point whenever you're fitting the cover.
Okay.
So the farmer didn't think there was much point putting it around the back.
Yeah.
You'd have to kind of watch where, as long as you wouldn't have tractors driving by it. And as you can see here, it'll be impossible to have a silage tiller driving past it where it could catch it.
Okay. So when would the farmer use something like that then, say, typically?
Oh, just well, let's say if there was no roof on it, we could have a jetter on it, where the slurry could be jetted up the side of the tank to break the crust. In this case here now, because he has the bubbler, there's no need for a jetter. So, but just have a look inside the tank to see what storage is left.
Okay. Yeah. So you mentioned a bubbler, so that's an aeration system?
That's a bubbler system, yeah.
We're looking at some of the pipe work up there, are we?
Yeah, that's the pipe work. Lintons, we got them to do it, or we outsourced it to them, and they came down just to fit the bubbler system in the inside so the farmer can use it after today if he needs to. Okay,
so there's no need then for agitation as such, the aeration is going to solve all that?
Well, we are planning to put a sidewall mixer in this just in case the power goes, or whenever the farmer wants to spread it, the power goes, but the bubbler will manage it on its own.
So just look inside, so in terms of the pipe work then?
Yeah, that's all. I think it's 48mm pipe, and they all have plastic brackets on them and stainless steel hammer fixings.
Right. Okay.
You know, so they should, and there's plenty of fixings on them, so the pipes can't lift.
Yeah. So as we move on to the cover. Why did you think the farmer put the cover on? Why are farmers putting the cover on?
Well, it is coming in where they all will have to be covered, and it is much easier to do it whenever the tank's new. But not only that, let's say, because he has so much power washing it, the last thing he needs is about 3.5 foot of rainwater in it every year. And especially this year now, with the way the fertiliser prices have gone, it does give you a better quality of slurry, because you can put in as much water as you need to spread it.
Okay, it's less diluted as it would have been otherwise.
Less diluted, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
You know, which is extra cost in spreading, and it cuts down on what the tank can actually hold.
Right. Okay. So a key part of it here, and what's different to the ones that obviously don't have a cover, is you have a main timber pole inside.
So it's a hardwood pole. It's Greenheart, it's called. Now we can do stainless steel as well if the farmer prefers, but it's more expensive, and I don't think it'll last as long as the Greenheart pole.
Why would you say that?
Just the way that Greenheart, the way it's growing in South Africa, all the ports in the world before they came to concrete were all done with that, and they last for hundreds of years.
Okay. Yeah. So in preparation of that, do you do something different in terms of the base for? Yeah.
Well, because we were here whenever we actually built the tank, we dug out underneath where the pole was going. So we went down an extra 300mm, or was about 400mm down, and put in 2 sheets of mesh in it. So in around 10 foot by 20 foot underneath the pole, it's about 700mm thick, 600-700mm thick. You know, so. Now, if it was an existing tank, we'd just bring a concrete slab, and the crane would lift it in. Then it just separates. It just spreads the whole way to the pole. Then.
Okay, so the pole itself is sitting on the floor.
It's sitting on the floor, yeah. With 2 L brackets just keeping it in place.
Okay, and at the opposite end, then on the top, what's sitting on top of the pole?
On the top, then it would be it's a stainless steel cap. So there's nothing actually holding the pole up, but it's sitting inside the cap by about 200mm. You know, so the whole cover has to lift up 200mm for the pole to come out, but that'll never happen.
Okay. And when you look inside, then you can see some obvious holes on the outside, on the outside ring, and there's also some on the inside. What are the ones on the inside first? What are they for?
The ones at the top are just, let's say, whenever the farmer would be letting slurry in or out, it just lets the same amount of air in or out that it needs. Okay. If it hadn't got it, you know, it would be inclined to try and pull the tank in. Yeah. You know, so that's what the top ones are for, and they're little vents, so birds or nothing can ever get in, you know, but it just lets the air in and out. Okay. And then the ones on the outside are if a strap ever broke, or a couple of straps broke, and a bit of water started to dish in it, it'll just let the water into the tank then, so it won't keep adding to until it does damage. Yeah. Okay, and the 2 holes over on the far side then are where the pipes come in then for your fill points? Correct, yeah, okay. Yeah. So we have it's 2 stainless steel rings, and they bolt together just so the cover can't rip any further. Okay. So how do you actually physically get this cover on then? So that's the hard part. So the way we do it is where you see all your black ratchets, we put all them on first with there's a membrane on top that keeps the cover apart from the top angle. So we put on temporary straps in to the inside and fix them all to the top of the pole. So then whenever we stand the pole up, then you can just tighten all the straps, which holds the cover, holds the pole, and then whenever you bring the cover out on top of it, it holds it all. So once we get out over the edge, then we can put in that 48mm galvanized bar, and just put your black straps to it then all the way around then, and just. Are you using a crane to drop the cover on? It'll be all crane work. Yeah. Okay. So then wind obviously is an issue if it was windy, is it, or you have to be careful on that? Wind would be the biggest issue, and rain. So you kind of have to pick your days. You know, when you can see in this tank, we had to strengthen up the top angle, and we put on, you see the 50mm angle coming down, which just brings all the weight down the tank then. Okay, yeah.
So all those straps are doing a key function, and
they're all doing a key function. Yeah. So they're all in about 950 mil apart.
Okay, yeah. So Kevin, just to finish on the cover, say, you know, how long are they lasting on farms, or how long are you fitting them? And
so this is a Cunningham's cover. They're made in Derry and they're made in Naas in County Kildare. How long they last is very hard to say. Our first one we fitted would have been about 14 years ago, and we fitted 2 of them down in West Cork, and they're still going strong. The large one was a 105-foot one. Now the straps had to be changed about 2 or 3 years ago, but the cover itself is still working 100%.
Okay. And I suppose finally then the controls for the aeration system are going to be parked over here?
Yeah, so the way we would set it up, they're digging in the cable today, and it's going to be set here and this is a spot for the mixer then.
Okay, yeah.
So
okay.
it is, yeah.
All centralised here?
All centralised here, yeah. It's kind of well out of the way here in this corner here.
Okay, very good. Well, thank you for your time.
Yeah, thanks for coming down, yeah. Thank you very much.